Ghislaine Maxwell, I'll give you a prediction. What I want, I don't know if it's a prediction or what I want this to happen. Apparently, Ghislaine's going to drop 10 names of 10 John Does. Apparently, Ghislaine's going to drop names of 10 John Does. I want to see Bill Gates' name on that list. It's it's on the list, though, right? It's on the list. And here's the thing. He is a bit of a psycho. That's what pisses me off about this prediction. Let's take a look at it.
Into a kind of Orwellian dystopia where Big Brother watches over us. Human Rights Watch warns us that governments might exploit the pandemic to instate authoritarian rule, saying that we might be walking into a kind of surveillance reality of unprecedented scale and intrusiveness. While the USA has for the most part pushed back against the use of surveillance tech, such as facial recognition software, the authorities want it very much.
They have all our data.
Countries such as China and Russia have already been using this tech.
They have all the US data and all the Canadian data, all your social media, all that data. I think that's what Snowden revealed. That's why Snowden has to hide for the rest of his life. I think it was called Operation Prism. They got all the data. I love when people do this. They go, well, they push back on the surveillance cameras. Hey, you got all the freaking data, dude. It's a lot. Anyway, let's keep going.
To monitor folks in the name.
Canada, too. Canada's such a bitch, dude. They come and tell us what to do, and we just have to do it. Honestly, this Trudeau enacting the Emergencies Act, that Biden told him to do it. You have to blame everything on you guys, but like, no, because there's a blockade. There's a blockade that was affecting the car parts coming in. And apparently, and this is coming from Crystal and Sagar, or Crystal really, apparently Biden calls Trudeau and says, fucking fix it, you little shit. You little brat. Fucking fix it. And then Trudeau did Emergencies Act. So that's on. I don't want to say
stopping the spread of the virus. But of course, monitoring us and telling us where we can and can't go might be for the greater good of mankind. After all, we need to get a handle on this virus. Nonetheless, in terms of general well-being, people don't usually like being tracked and traced and told where to stay all the time. As Human Rights Watch says, any deployment of technology should be rooted in human rights standards, centered on enabling people to live a dignified life. Let's face it, though, in 2022, even if you want to go to certain places in the world, there will likely be some added restrictions. Again, this is for the greater good, but it certainly can't be seen as a positive in terms of how we live. All of these problems will become much more insignificant if Earth is hit by a killer asteroid. And in October 2022, one of them is going to get close to Earth. Well, at least close in the astronomical sense. Its name is Didymus. While that sounds like a cute Japanese cartoon character, even the asteroid's small 500-foot-wide satellite moon Dimorphos would be capable of wiping out some of our...
That was not the Bill Gates one. This is the Bill... I have the Bill Gates one next. This is a... Wait, what did we get there? Oh, surveillance state. Okay, so these guys are predicting... That was the one I wanted, surveillance state, yeah. Asteroid coming. I think we have asteroid coming later, so don't worry about that. Surveillance state. Okay, that's number 7. What is it? 16? 17? 17? No, 16. 16, surveillance state. Fair enough. Now's the Bill Gates one. And this one kind of pisses me off. Let's go.
About the metaverse? Number 5. First of all, what the hell is a metaverse? What it simply means is humans interacting in a virtual space with computers. It's the next frontier in our connection with our devices. It's not always great, of course, because face-to-face...
This is Bill Gates saying that we're all going to end up in a metaverse. This is what pisses me off. You know, this is where I like the psychics better than these scientists. Because Bill Gates is saying, oh, we're all going to end up in a metaverse. Meanwhile, he's investing in some metaverse technology. So he's literally predicting the shit that he's investing in. He's like, I predict that because I'll make you do it. That's what this whole thing is. It's him saying, my predictions, I'm Bill Gates, I'll give you my prediction. Bill Gates, I'm Bill Gates, I'll give you the prediction. Everyone will have a chip inside of them for the vaccine. How? I'll make you do it. That's basically what this is, though. Let's keep going.
Face human interactions are important for all of us, but it might just make your life a bit easier. Gates said, within the next 2 or 3 years, I predict most virtual meetings will move from a 2D camera image grid, which I call the Hollywood Squares model, although I know that probably...
I predict you're coming in at Zucks. This is Bill Gates saying, oh, remember that piece of shit Zucks ripped? Apparently Zucks dissed him back in the day, too. That's the thing. Apparently back in the day, Bill Gates went to Zucks and said, hey, baby, I'm a psycho. You're a psycho. Let me mentor you. Let me teach you something. Let me bring you up in the game like me. And and this is the issue with these sociopaths. Zucks said, go fuck yourself, you old fuck. I'm going to beat your ass, too. No respect. If they were brown, they would not do that. Honestly, I just say that's so mean. That's so rude to just say about white people. But it is such a not all white people, but it is such an American, like, fuck you, dad. Fuck you, dad. Fucking, oh, daddy's here. Go fuck yourself, Bill Gates. And now Bill Gates is saying, oh yeah, metaverse. I predict everyone will be in a simulation similar to like a metaverse type of technology. I don't know, made by Microsoft and It'll probably cost about $44.99 a month. We'll just automatically take the payments out of the bank accounts, and yeah, that's my prediction. Are you fucked? You sociopath? You're making the thing. Don't tell me predictions. This guy. Let's keep it going.
Dates me to the metaverse, a 3D space with digital avatars. He said, what's coming is a kind of virtual meeting with people that replicates the feeling of being in an actual room with them.
What's
to make
coming
this
is
happen, you need things like virtual reality goggles and motion detector technology. But if Bill got this one
Meta.
right, the adoption of such tech will happen sooner than we think. Still, if this will be partially beneficial to humans is debatable. There are a lot of people out there that think we need to put our tech down a bit more and embrace the old-fashioned thing of being together in the skin. Gates also had some bad news in regard to how we use technology. Number 4, he said one of the worrying things in 2020.
This is another thing that pisses me off about this one. I'm gonna rip 2 on Gates because he is really. We saw some psychopath moves from him last year. Just in the last couple. I thought he was great, by the way. I thought he was a great guy, and Stephen also was very upset. I remember the day that we had a meeting about this, and I remember Stephen was very upset when he heard about these Epstein connections. I remember Stephen was very upset. He almost it was personal for him. He was like, "Did you hear the Bill Gates? Okay, well, I want to talk about that." He was mad. They're so apparently he's one of these guys with the kids at fucking Epstein's fucking shit. This guy's running the planet. He was pissed. Anyway,
2021 that he noticed was a heightened lack of trust in governments. He said, based on what I've seen over the
because of you idiot. Because psychos like you go in, take the money to make a vaccine, and then when it's time to give it to the world, you say, "Oh no, we have sorry, it's our patent." Capitalism. Hey, people are saying that 200,000 people in the world might have died because of him, just because he didn't just give the vaccine. So rude. This is what he does, though. He's manipulating government. I don't believe in the microchip in your vaccine thing that people say that he's trying to put a microchip in the vaccine. I don't believe in that. Just the real stuff is fucked up. But just like these predictions, the conspiracy theorists on Bill Gates, the reason why the conspiracy theorists, they're technically wrong, factually they're wrong. Fine, fair enough. But the reason why they're doing important work and doing God's work is because they're bringing our attention. They're saying, "Hey, this guy's a psycho. This guy's a psycho," and I'm getting a channeling. He will rule us. They're doing. That's what the conspiracy theories are. He's making microchips, putting microchips in people, and then he will take a button and control you. That's what they're doing with Bill Gates. They're predicting it's almost like a metaphor for what he really is. And that's what we found out that he is this year, and it's terrifying. That him and Zuck's gonna be in
last
charge.
couple years, I'm more worried than I've ever been about the ability of governments to get big things done. People wanted someone to blame for the pandemic and the lockdowns and the hardships, and so they chose the government, he said. But he also said the lack of trust came in the form of a political divide, in which one side blamed the other. As for the media, it made hay while the people were busy putting the blame on the right or the left or the middle or the big.
Wow, so high and mighty this Bill Gates. He's putting himself as while I was being perfect and trying to fix the problem, while I was being a perfect human being, operating perfectly and trying to fix the problem, left and right, and everyone's fighting. Why didn't you give the vaccines out, you piece of shit? That's why people don't trust government. Because you use the U.S. government money to make the vaccine, and then when it was part of the deal of the government's going to pay for it, part of the deal was we have this open source tech, whatever. He steps in and says, no, it's our technology. Doesn't give out the vaccine, the copyright or whatever the hell it is for the vaccine. And as a result, the last time I read an article about it, they said at least 200,000 people in the world died because he's being a greedy little pig. Let's keep going.
Of the extreme to both sides. Gates said there are many reasons for this growing divide, including a 24-hour news cycle,
such a psycho,
reports headline generation, and the rise of social media. What
your name
is an increase in the spread of misinformation, aka fake news. No doubt he's seen himself in a few articles that say dubious things about him. If he read the comments on the social media platforms where the stories were posted, he would have seen one side calling the other ignorant, or perhaps designating them as sheeple, while the other side accused its foe of being moronic tinfoil hat wearers. We've all seen it, and it worries Mr. Gates. At the end of the day...
Oh, does it worry Mr. Gates? Does it worry Mr. Gates? Look at this. He says, at the end of the day, society
needs robust debate, but it doesn't need mass hatred and cynical distrust.
I mean, you know what? That really pisses me off because he's the one who's creating that cynicism. He's the one who's creating that distrust, I feel like, in a lot of ways. But let's move on. That was number 15. Let's move on to Elizabeth April. We got to move on, guys. We can't. Let's not give Bill Gates this white man